Okay, today we're talking about Octopath Traveler, a new RPG for the Nintendo Switch console. The first thing that sticks out about this game to me is that it's got an actually really solid battle system. The mechanics for engaging in the turn-based battles seem to work really well and offer a lot of variety for the player to choose from and feel good about. The game features the classic turn-based combat system with the classic rock, paper, scissors elemental trio with a bit of a twist. This elemental trio has been expanded to encourage more experimentation and trying new things with these elements and different abilities, and to encourage practice skills and being really solid with the commands in the game. There's a huge layer of strategy to these battles, giving meaning to all moves in the game. There's a certain context and a certain reason for using every single move in the game. I found that there were not a ton of throwaway moves. Everything often had a purpose. The way they use the defense system and trying to break your opponent's defense to get in there and finish a strong attack gives meaning to a varied amount of different moves, which was really appreciated and allows for deeper strategy in the game using a wide range of moves and not just being stuck to the 2 or 3 most powerful. Taking your time to think of the best approach given the current situation and being satisfied when it works out and plays out in your favor is a ton of fun and provides a very rewarding experience in each battle. There's a surprisingly large amount of skills and abilities to choose from, a wide range that is a solid amount of content here for this RPG game. In addition to these skills and abilities, there's also the job system that allows for even further customization and variation between the different classes and jobs, allowing you to combine all these things to various effects. There's so many different combinations that it's tough to actually get an experience with all of them, so choose your favorite and go for it. Tons of replayability here with all the different choices in terms of your combat style and your fighting style, which is really surprising and great to see out of a game like this. Octopath Traveler provides 8 unique well-written, well voice-acted stories for you to play through, which is a ton of content. 8 different stories with 8 different characters, which is great to see. All are fairly well done. They do play it a little bit safe. Nothing really breaks out too much of the classic kind of fantasy role-playing game mold, but they are very well written, formed together well, with solid conclusions and to all of them. They're very well voice-acted and they all work very well. I'm sure everybody has their favorite stories. Some are, of course, better and more drawn out than others, but they all seem to work fairly well, providing good context and reasons to enjoy the battles and enjoy the gameplay that's in the game. The stories only marginally fit together with just hints at what's going on in some of the other stories, which is a little bit disappointing. It could have really taken it to the next level if you're doing something that interacts with something you did in another story, and maybe you're jumping between them to see kind of how it all interplays together, or depending on what you do in one story, it affects what happens in the other. That would be some next level stuff. Unfortunately, that's not here, but it doesn't get in the way of the product that is there in these stories, so just would have liked to seen it been able to take it to the next level. Octopath Traveler is presented beautifully with its own unique style. The 2D sprites kind of interacting in the 3D space works really well and often provides a lot of really interesting and very unique stylized effects here in this game. I was very happy with how the game was presented. It looks great. The particular standout being the lighting and different weather effects that happen throughout the game, kind of the 2D sprites interacting with where you are in the world and the beautiful lighting and how it shines through. Really, really well done. I can't even really explain to you kind of how intricate and well done it looks, and the amount of time and effort and care that was put into those effects. Compliments to the effects artist on Octopath Traveler. Overall, Octopath Traveler I think is a really solid game that actually played it quite safe. A lot of the stories are kind of almost cookie cutter, not necessarily, but they played a little bit safe. Things are very familiar, very comfortable. The combat system is very familiar. Yeah, a little bit of a twist to spice things up with the varied abilities and stuff like that, and a beautiful art style to go along with it. But I think there's a few opportunities where they really could have taken it to the next level. I don't think it leaves me disappointed about what's here in Octopath Traveler, but definitely some room to grow in terms of integrating those stories together, some things with combat, and taking things to the next level, maybe taking some risks and really trying to add something special to the genre. What we get here in Octopath Traveler is a really solid game that plays well, that definitely has a lot of room to grow. So for that reason, my final verdict for Octopath Traveler is an 8 out of 10. It's a great game. If this game potentially has a sequel, or if this developer continues work on the RPG genre. I'd really love to see if they take some risks and see what they can do kind of with some of the narrative things, or add some new twists to gameplay, or some increased focus on some of the artifacts, because this is a really solid game here in Octopath Traveler, but I think this is a really talented group of developers from what they've been able to produce. So I'd love to see, with a bit more time and development and maybe some money from the sales of this game, what they'll be able to produce next. And I think it could be something really special if they're interested in that. Well, that'll do it for Octopath Traveler. I hope this review was helpful. I appreciate you guys watching and sticking all the way through to the end. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I would really, really appreciate it. Subscribe to Yes Guy Gaming. You can get all the video game reviews, some of the Let's Play stuff that I do, all the stuff here on Yes Guy Gaming. I would really, really appreciate that. But thank you again so much for watching, and we hope to see you next time on Yes Guy Gaming.